So they'll be calling you a radical. Let's talk about the spent fuel pools in Japan and here in the United States. You know, my furnace went out. I'm waiting for him to come, and it's 16 degrees outside. Well, my pipes don't freeze. But anyway, I got it handled. So let's talk about the spent fuel pools, the earthquake in Japan. What about here in the United States? So I don't think people realize how they think the spent fuel pool is some sophisticated. They're made up as they go. Why? Because the nuclear industry lied to us from the beginning. That's all they ever do is lie. It's the greatest lie in human history. The cover-up of Fukushima doesn't prove that. How can you have visual evidence? 4 reactors blowing to fucking smithereens. Spent fuel pools blown to smithereens. And Gunderson says it's a hydrogen blast. Helen says the Japanese are tidy people. They cleaned it up. Busby says Pacific Ocean, big place. I mean, it's pitiful. Visual proof that they blew right up. 9-point earthquake. These reactors can't handle a 9. They can't handle an 8. I don't think people even understand how the Richter scale works. So on the Richter scale, Japan is 7.6. On the China, on the Sea of Japan side, Fukushima on the Pacific. The only reason you know anything about Fukushima is there was a live cam there before they circled the wagons. Activists had that there because they knew. I mean, let's see, nuclear reactors in Japan. Now, who the fuck would do such a thing? The United States, post-war. You know, Poppy drop. These are the same psychopaths that dropped 2 nuclear bombs on Japan, are the same psychopaths who built the nuclear industry up there, who put the nuclear reactors at San Onofre, California, at Diablo Canyon, TikTok. They're on the Ring of Fire. What? It's malice from inception. It's just like, who the fuck sets a nuclear disaster scale at 7? Oh, it's only a 7. That's malice. I mean, come on. These freaks. Poppy dropped. Fucking psycho. So the spent fuel pools. The spent fuel pools, they're concrete pools. They're a swimming pool, literally. And they're made up as they go because when these things were built in Japan, in the United States, it was sold to us that there was a repository. It was going to Yucca Mountain underground in a hole. Great answer. Like they do. By the way, the Sweden's reactor, where the spent fuel goes there, the waste repository, there's also a reactor there. It's in shutdown. Oh, nothing to see. These nuclear industry writes this narrative before anything happens. Within minutes of an earthquake, within minutes of anything that happens, it's already out. No radiation spikes. No, everything's good. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. I mean, and the people, it's like some guy was telling me I didn't know how to use a Geiger counter. I got 3 of them. Remember the one I had whistled on there? What's a Geiger counter going to tell you? You going to go run it over your fish in the supermarket? You going to go run it over your food? It's not going to tell you a fucking thing. It's like taking iodine tablets. They're not going to do shit. They've got you had. So the spent fuel pools, they're just concrete pools. So what happens, they're bundles. They're big, tall bundles. Right here behind my house, Karen Silkwood, Kevin and Karen Silkwood, they try to make a sequel out of me. Western Zirconium's right behind my house. There's zirconium rods. They take uranium-238, which is natural from the earth, right? That's not what it is in a nuclear reactor. That's a centrifuge it. Paducah, Kentucky used to do it there. Remember, tornado hit, full of Russian waste. I mean, it's a global cabal. It's the greatest global crime syndicate in human history. So you got the spent, the mocks, we're going to refire it up in Ohio. Yay! Russia, we're blocking everything coming Russian unless they're a Russian oligarch who gives endowments to Harvard. I thought the guy that was controlling Epstein, wasn't that Victoria's Secret? What's his name? Oh, now it's being reported. He's going to pull his endowment from Harvard. I thought everybody was going after that guy. Isn't he the sponsor for Epstein? Isn't he the Epstein guy? But we're going after Russian oligarchs and black, unless now it's being exposed, all these major endowments around the country freaking are Russian oligarchs. What the fuck? You've been had. So the global cabal called the Nuclear Energy Crime Syndicate because it's free money. Price enters the Department of Energy, which is a term that flows up billions and trillions and promises they had a repository. By law, they had to have a repository. They built Yucca. Fucking Matta didn't want it. Remember, I knew Harry Reid personally. He fought him tooth and nail. Of course he did. I mean, that's where he was born. You know, he was born satellite. That's right there at Yucca, you know, the Nevada test site. Yes, he died of cancer. So, we're supposed to have it by law in the 70s in Yucca. They kept kicking the can, lawsuits. So we pay a fine. They're not public utilities. Who owns these reactors? Round up the usual suspects. You know, Lord Bezos, Lord Gates, Lord Musk. Wasn't Lord Bezos born at Los Alamos to a 14-year-old mother? Yes, look it up. Who is his mother's father? Oh, the Department of Atomic, which is now the Department of Jennifer Graham Home, and Rick Perry going to make it sexy again. Oh, that's sexy. I'm a rainbow striped giraffe. I call that the anti-porn. Disgust. I mean, they're freaks. They just bow. These pop, oppy drop politicians just bow. Yeah, and that's all they are. The puppet man. And you think there's a difference between old man Biden and old man Trump? There ain't no difference. Just one word: Fukushima. I asked Trump from the other day, "You going to open up the book on Fukushima?" Yes. Did he? Did he? Nope. You know, a bee flies right in. I was there. I was there at the White House that night. I took the bus in the middle of the night. I was at Trump. A bee's the first one. Why is he the first one in here? Then he goes to MIT Media Lab. Hello, Aaron Swartz. You know, Aaron Swartz hands the chip to Laura and Glenn Greenwald. What? Fox News could. Well, why would he hand that to him? Because he's a con man. He says he gets to the top of the CIA. He's the #1 hacker in the world, and he got to the top of the CIA, and he found out there was another top. What's the other top? Global oligarchs. When he's sitting next to probably the greatest global, one of them in the world. Lord Rothschild? No. Tsar Poo-Poo. You know, so unbelievable. So we're paying a fine on these spent fuel pools because these reactors were never built to store nuclear waste. They were never. So they've had to build pool on top of pool on top of pool. All of them all over the United States are the same way. It's stored on site. Remember, Reed got that through. Remember, I followed him. You're not the executive branch. You can't do this with the strike pen. It's the NRC. By the way, the 3 Mile Island NRC head, I see he just passed away at 98. Talk about, the NRC is going to help you, the nuclear island cheerleaders. So he went to Congress, says, okay, Blanch, you're right. And Congress is so pathetically stupid. Ignorant, selfish people elect ignorant, selfish leaders on Balco, Carlin on chemo. They passed it. So they're officially, every nuclear reactor in the United States is officially a nuclear waste site. Rest around the world, too. There's no answer. So they sue us, and you as the taxpayer pays these people that own these reactors every single month. They get a check from you, the taxpayer, because by law, you had to have a repository bill. Didn't happen, did it? There's no answer for the waste. Oh, we're going to, Levin, I know, District 49 panic for plutonium. He got some more money through for more lawyers to loot right off. We're going to get a plan, consent base. I went to all the consent base hearings. I spoke at them. The only person ever confronted the NRC about Fukushima, Kevin Blanch. I consented Allison. And I still believe in you, which I still believe in her, but she's up in Canada, at VB, and so, but even she says, the head, NuScale, the head of the NRC, NuScale work together. And NuScale rips us off in Utah, nothing. Bye, see ya. This is the scam. Ask not what you can do for your country, ask what you can do for your country. That's the psychic in America. They just rip you off, everybody ripping each other off. Anyway, anything. It's contemporized. It's cultural. It's taught from birth. It's sick to stand up to it. You're some kind of psycho. You're lunatic. You're freak. You'll be attacked. If you stand up to not the scam America. So the spent fuels are stored on site. Well, a 7.6 earthquake, you're right to the edge. My work always showed you got it around 7.6, 7.7, 7.8 spent fuel. So it's being reported out of Japan that at the reactor in East Japan, it lost water. Shaking, the water comes out of the pool. There's not a lid on them. So they take the big things, uranium-238, they centrifuge it and turn it into uranium-235. They turn it into pellets. They put the little pellets in the rods. The rods have 21 bundle, each one, and there's 7 of them circles the core. So they're at full capacity for about 18 months, and they're active for thousands and thousands, if not millions of years. So they change them out to get the hotter, stronger ones in. Where do they put them? They use a crane. Pick them up, put them in the swimming pool. They've had to build more cranes. They've had to build more swimming pools because you're talking 30, 40 years is built up in everyone, including Japan. They've already reported the water sloshed and spilled out of there. How long does that take? Well, they're saying they can't even get in there. They're blaming it on snowstorms. They're blaming it, they can't get in there. So did they get water back onto the spent fuel pool? If they don't get water and they melt together, and that's called a Zerk fire, which is everything a nuclear meltdown. I mean, they melt together and it's on you. Never get them out. You can't put them out once they melt together. We had all the rubs at San Onofre, level 3 rubs. We got shut. Kevin Blanch up front. That's the greatest accomplishment in grassroots activism history, getting San Onofre shut down. And the spent fuel out of the pools and into the dry cask containers on the path, which isn't the best solution. Well, the best of the worst options, but it's 1,000 times better being in a pool. So these pools, how much shake can they take before they crack and the water runs out? Then it's on, and you can't get them out. Now, is that going on in Japan? How are we ever going to know? Who's going to tell us? When they cover Fukushima, Fukushima, when it happened, 9-point earthquake, there's no doubt in my mind there were other meltdowns in Japan. Besides just Fukushima, Daiichi. What about Diani? All these reactors, and they've been offline ever since. We got a uranium renaissance when there's all kinds. You know how many reactors are shut down post-Fukushima? Go to Germany and tell them why they shut down all their reactors. So, are the spent fuel pools in meltdown thing? I don't know. How are we going to know? Who? Oh, RadNet. We have RadNet in the United States. We'll pick it up here. Remember? Gina McCarthy was head of RadNet. Remember? They took RadNet offline. Just crashed it. She was such a good team player that went from head of the RadNet to be head of the EPA. Then she was climate czar for a while. This club. Good puppet. Good puppet. Yay. You're part of the winning team. Great surf. That's all Biden is. That's all Trump is. That's all Obama Dummer was. I want to keep you abreast of what I know. The plume is coming over us. They tell us safe. When Cheryl's emails were going out to Hillary's people, at the same time, nobody ever talked to Cheryl about, what does somebody go interview her? The New Yorker, remember when they interviewed me? Oh, we can't have this conversation. They told me about your cancer, Blanche. It's too hard for me. There's a weekly in America. When both think about Saddam as weapons of mass destruction when everybody knew that they didn't. Look what they pulled off there. When you can cover up Fukushima, so what's going on in Japan? 7.6 on the Richter. Is that enough to crack spent fuel pools? Most likely. Do we know for sure? No. Are we getting any reports out of there? No. Are we going to get any good report? No, of course not. Fukushima doesn't prove to you. Same here. So Diablo Canyon's on the ring fire. We're going to keep it open. Remember, it was supposed to close? You know how many spent fuel pools are there on site? It's only a matter of time. So I want to get this up before I freeze to death. Oh my God, it's cold. I'm supposed to come fix my furnace today. So it's old, and it was never the right size. So right after I got cancer, I was a millionaire when I got cancer. I was uninsured. Remember all that Tesla stock, everything? I had 30,000 shares of Tesla stock, IPO. Play back the tape, Your Honor. It's right on YouTube. All that Apple. I had to sell it all. $1 million worth of stock. God, what would that be worth today? Oh, I'd never held it that long. But I had to sell it to get into the bone marrow. Truck hit me in 2011, like a freight train. Sold everything I had. So my furnace, when I'm in the bone marrow transplant center, dying. I'm fighting for my life. I get to come out a little bit with a central on my furnace went out. And I had no money. I went from being out here to being broke. I literally had none. So a guy I know, that worked for the heating place, Barlow's, he says, well, I got one that's been in the warehouse. It's smaller, but it gets you by for a while. So I put that in, and I got 10 years out of it. I knew it was too small. This house is, 35 years old. So it's got to be changed out, which I'm surprised it made as long. I'm just damn lucky it didn't go out when I wasn't here, when I was in California doing all the tide pool work. It's amazing what I've done in 12 years with my life with no money. Financially just destroyed, slandered, kicked off Medicaid, open heart surgery twice, including this year. I was just telling these guys, I've been rehabbing from open heart surgery. I got a pacemaker now. Lost my teeth, my gallbladder. And their answer was to slander me. I mean, there were dozens of YouTube. I mean, Johnny come latelys. You weren't there around in 2011, 2012 to know what I was going through. You know, I had 3 radio shows. I was massive. I mean, what I was putting up with. I mean, God, I look back and I don't know how I did it. I was sick, fighting for my life, full of cancer. I'd get literally thousands of emails a day. I mean, stuff that would show up in the mail. I mean, phone calls I used to get. Threatened. I was called every name in the book. There was dozens of YouTube sites and Facebook pages with my name 100% committed to doing nothing but slandering me. When I was right the whole time, I'm like, these are meltdowns, they're going to lie, they're going to cover up, it's going to doing my biology, or trying to stay alive. I mean, what a 12 years. It's going on 13. So the spent fuel pools, did they crack and break and go into Zerk fire in Japan on the China side? I think the only time we're ever going to know this, you know, maybe we get some freelance Chinese media, which is pretty bad when TASS provide, you know, state-run media in China, state-run money in freaking Russia. Shit. Remember Mikhail Lessin? Oh, whoa. Wasn't he RT's RT? Whoa. Remember what happened to him on Remember the 5th of November? Whoa. Remember what happened to David Goldberg? Whoa. I mean, remember what happened to Karen Silkwood? Whoa. Remember what happened to Kevin Blanch? Whoa. Whew. I don't know how I'm alive. I honestly do not. Thank you to everybody supporting historic work. But it's been an incredible fight. I mean, who knew that? I mean, what am I supposed to do? I watched my father die of disease. I watched Annika die of disease. Then the doctor looks you right in the eye, says, you got 2 months to live. Going to the bone marrow on 11/11/11, too sick for transplant. It's been an epic 12 years. And if Fukushima hasn't proved who controls the world, pop, it's the same clan that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They've been covering it up since 1945, August. We've still never even seen that footage. So what's going on in Japan? Is that a big enough quake to crack cement fuel pools? I think so. Do we know? No. Do I know? No. I knew on Fukushima. I'll tell you how I knew on Fukushima. I knew positively that these were in meltdown immediately because it was a 9-point earthquake, and I know these reactors cannot. These cores can't handle anything even close to an 8. I knew when it was a 9, they were gone. There's no way they could handle it. Spent fuel pools, I knew it was gone. That quake was so, I mean, there's no way. I mean, you start getting close to an 8. People don't understand the Richter, 7.6, then you go to 7.7, it's 10 times more than a 7.6, 7.8 is 10 times more than a 7. So on. So the magnitude, 7.6 is right up there. So it's been reported by Sky News that Japan has reported there was an oil slick out in the ocean, a small one, but they're reporting that the spent fuel pool sloshed out. They lost water because of the shake. Did they break? I don't know. How are we going to know? Because Japan, I mean, look what they did at Fukushima. I mean, you don't even know. I mean, I can't believe it. Because media in the United States are what you call fucking cowards. Politicians are cowards. Trump's a coward. Frickin' Obama's a coward. And Biden are cowards. Fukushima. Abe ran the whole show. Look what happened to him. I still can't believe they didn't have security. That was I mean, what the hell? He's given a political rally and there's no security for the prime minister of the country. I mean, well, even if he was ex, my God, I can't believe it. The guy just walks right up like there's nothing. It blows my mind, actually. It's so disturbing. Well, he wasn't prime minister, was he? Nato Khan was. I talked to Nato Khan in San Diego. He came right up to me and bowed. Remember when him and Gregory Jacko and the urban planner, go talk to the urban planner Harvard guy. Boy, they sure back down. They always back down. Everybody backs down the nuclear energy crime syndicate. You want to end up like Kevin Blanch? Slandered, destroyed, financially wrecked, sick, Boy, did I pick one. So, are the spent fuel pools cracked? I don't know, but there's a high possibility. And they're not going to tell you. And what about freelancers? No, the freelancers, if you put it up on YouTube, you had a Geiger counter near that reactor, you put it on YouTube, they'd immediately take it down. So, I don't know. But it's big, but it's only a matter of time that it happens here. We've got a lot of reactors closed down. San Onofre, Duane Arnold, Indian Point, 3 Mile Island, all these years later. Yankee, Pilgrim, You know, won't stop there. All these nasty reactors. So many we've got shut down. Post the activist community. Diablo was supposed to. It's what's the most dangerous reactors in the world? Well, they're all in shutdowns. Thank God. Thank God. Think about that 7.6. They're all in shutdown in Japan. All of them. All of them. I think there's only one that's operational. Oh, we're going to fire them up. Sure you are. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just like Germany's going to. No, they're not. You know, they can hold on because it's about propaganda. There's a nuclear energy renaissance, nuclear energy propaganda, and they just cover up, and everybody, the media, the coward media that they are. I mean, local media, all of it, you know, little SMR is going to save the world. It's all bullshit. It's total bullshit. You know, and so spent fuel pools are stacked up on site, which they were never built and constructed for that, including every reactor here in the United States, including Diablo Canyon. And they're plumb full of spent fuel. It's not going to take that much of a shake, you know, and we're so overdue at Diablo. You know why it's named Diablo Canyon? Do you know? The Chumash, you know, the native indigenous. When the Spaniard invaders got there and told them, you know, the evil mass, I mean, why they got there and they were landed there right there. Yep, you got it. An earthquake and a tsunami. The Chumash used to call that the mother's heart. Blue hearts on Valentine's Day. Remember I used to do that? And that was before I knew it was the intuitive mind. They named it Diablo. You do know what Diablo means in Spanish. Let's build a nuclear reactor there. Well, think about it. They built 50 of them in freaking Japan. Post pop. That these psychos, the same people that baby never born, mother never pregnant. Even the people, even Leo who wrote the letter, you know, everybody that had anything to do with the mountain had backed out when they found out that the Germans didn't have it. They didn't have a bomb. And they knew that. Everybody backed out, says, no. I always quote Hoover. Mr. We could use another. Never in the history of mankind, as a nation, as a people, as a war machine, as an army, indiscretionally mass murdered women and children. Till now. It revolts my soul, August 7, 1945. These are the same people that dropped the bomb, that built the nuclear industry up. They know full well that they have massive earthquakes and things. Why would they build them in Japan? It's only a matter of time. Why would they build one in Diablo Canyon? Why would you keep it open? And when something we don't use, it's California taxpayers paying $4.4 million a day to keep that thing. We don't even use it. It takes more freaking energy to keep these spent fuel pools cool. Speaking of my furnace being out, you have to cool those spent fuel pools, and there's more and more and more and more of it all the time because there's no repository. And we're paying them a fine. I mean, and these oligarchs that own them, I mean, they're sickos. How much is enough? I mean, it's the whole mantra to where we hate the global elites, but we empower the global elites. You don't think cutting taxes to zero? You know what the tax, just in 1999, the tax rate was near 39% on the so-called 1% global elites. It's zero. I mean, what the hell? We hate them, but you don't think cutting tax rates on these people empowers them? Oh, it empowers them. The very poorest are paying the most taxes because taxes are regressionary. You know, it's not all just income, it's usury tax. Every time you buy something, including your heat bill, you know, send it news scale. I mean, it's outrageous. So the spent fuel pools, they're so vulnerable. That quake was massive. And they're saying that reactor right there has got problems. They're never going to tell us the truth. And if Fukushima is the litmus test, scientists are baffled, they're mystified, they're curious, they're in the arm. You look what's going on in the ocean, and you're going to chalk it up to coincidence. Like somebody says, oh, you can't. What are you talking about? Wasting disease? Where do you tell me we're wasting it? Oh, global warming didn't happen like this. It's like this. Of course, it's been going on for a long time. Global warming. Nuclear meltdowns are hot. But we know there was an acute radical event that happened in 2011. That's unarguable now. Unarguable because Kevin Blanch's hypothesis We know that it got radical in 2011. Those are called outliers in science. Outlier takes out all the bias and it takes out all the bullshit. I am the science. So you're telling me it's unarguable documented proof something radical happened in the Pacific Ocean and North American Western ecology in 2011 because we have the salmon data, we have the whale data, we have the tide pool data, we have all that data. Kevin Blanch, the greatest marine biologist in history. What did I get for? Oh, my furnace is blown out. You know, I'll get it handled. I'll figure it out. You know, just hoping my pipes don't freeze by the time they get it fixed. It's that cold here. Oh boy. But we call those outliers in science, right? We have regression. You can run models. And we know unarguably because we have all the salmon data. We have all the tide pool data. We have all the well data. They're all in symphony with each other. The crash on the Pacific Ocean, the radical acute, we call that an acute situation, like my cancer. You have chronic cancer, that's one thing. When they use the word acute on you, we know there was an acute event that happened in the Pacific Ocean. It's unarguable data because of the well data, with the wasting disease data, all the data, the salmon data. We know something radical changed in 2011. That's unarguable. That's unarguable. Absolutely unarguable science. First Kevin Blanch hypothesis, but that's unarguable. Now, you can argue what the acute event was. Something happened. Did a meteor hit? We have 9,000 XLVDs. Let's see. 3 full core meltdowns that pushed into the Pacific Ocean. Spent fuel, they just covered it up. Where's the cores? Where's the cores? Oh, they just prayed out every nuclear ho, 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 ho. Where are the cores? They never got to these cores. It never happened to Mayak. One partial meltdown at Chernobyl was nasty. 780,000 men entombed. We sent in ships to entomb them. They backed them out. Rahm Emanuel, John Holdren, freaking, and Klan, who had control of Obama. Obama, Jimmy Kimmel, he goes on. Here's Obama on the 17th of March, 2011, giving a speech saying, scientists are telling Fukushima, the West Coast, scientists are telling us the plumes coming to us right now. It is safe. There's no need for precautions. You don't need to do anything. When the emails of Cheryl were coming out at the exact same time saying there's radioactive plume coming over, take some iodine pills, wash your clothes, if you've been outside, stay indoors, take a shower. I mean, so he full well knew and he lied. Just like Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Colin Powell full knew well that was a lie. He did it anyway. That's been arguably proven. I mean, the government does nothing but lie. And then the media, the problem is without the fourth pillar, we have nothing. The media just goes along and lies. And then so-called NOAA, EPA scientists, they're not scientists. It's going to look down Kevin Blanch, the new Semmelweis. Semmelweis wash hand theory, atom germs, and everybody said he was crazy, blah, blah, blah. 10 years, he proved it. And he went so crazy, couldn't keep his sanity because he proved it and nobody listened to him. And, and finally they put him in a rubber room and beat him to death. I had an old timer the other day, a real smart old guy running to me. And he said, Blanch, you're still, on the Fukushima. Yeah. How do you keep your sanity? I don't know. It ain't easy. So the spent fuel pools, it's only a matter of time here. Was that by design? Well, why would you build nuclear reactors on the Ring of Fire? Huh? With no answer for the waste. And we keep perpetuating more and keep throwing more money at this bullshit lie technology. It's all it ever will. Hell of a way to boil a planet. So are there spent fuel pools cracked and in Zerk fire in Japan right now? I don't know. But you think about it. There was a 9-point earthquake. You think Fukushima Daiichi, was the only reactor that went melt? The only reason we know is because we had that live cam. They circled the wagons, but it took a little bit of time to do it. So, and then just cover it up. To think that there's no byproduct from 3 full meltdowns and 8 spent pushed into the Pacific Ocean. For every action, there's a reaction. That's the greatest action in human history. Is the greatest mental illness in history. You're trying to tell me there's no byproduct from that? Then why are we so afraid of nuclear meltdowns? We're afraid of nuclear meltdowns till they happen. See no nuclear, speak no nuclear, hear no nuclear, the nuclear energy emperors. They have no fucking clothes. And if you don't know what that means, you need to read that book. Because that's what it is. Unbelievable. So I don't know. How can we possibly know? Because they have control of our media. And call Fukushima a hoax. YouTube site to the moon. Think about that. Fight him. You end up like Kevin Blanch. Whoa, what a fucking journey. Just the fact that they could slander a guy and go after a guy while he's in critical condition, which are felonies in all 50 states. Never free. Never me. Split me open, rip me out. Never free, because I did the unforgiven. What am I supposed to do? Watch my father die from this? I'd be nuclear. Watch Annika die? Then a good doctor looks me right in the fucking eyes in 2011, says, you got 2 months to live, get your things. What am I supposed to do? Just lay down and die? Or fight back? Never free, never me. I did the unforgiven. I took on the nuclear energy crime syndicate. The greatest event in human history. The greatest PhD in human history. What a fucking journey. And the new Semmelweis. So I don't know how we could possibly know. They have everything circled and everybody's in. Ask not what you can do for your country. Ask what you can live for your country. And everybody's trading in their health for some asshole they never met, billionaire oligarch, free market fairy tales, wealth. Not me. I don't know. I mean, my wealth is, my health I get. Yeah. I mean, I was going in and out of a coma. I mean, I was in an ICU unit a year ago today. Prepping for open heart surgery. I got a pacemaker. I've had my heart ripped out of my chest twice now. In the last 5 years. I mean, I don't know how I'm still alive. I don't know how I don't know how I've coped. I really don't when I think about it. No, I'm not perfect. But far from it. Fuck. What next? Stay tuned. Fight goes on. The truth is the truth. TikTok. Diablo Canyon clock. We're afraid of nuclear downs and we're afraid of nuclear until they happen. See no nuclear energy. Hear no nuclear energy. See no, and all the black and yellow media whores play along. What fools. What fools. The nuclear energy emperors. They have no clothes.